Okay, welcome to this video lesson on Capitulum Sextum, Chapter 6 of Lingua Latina per se illustrata. And the name of this chapter is Via Latina, the Latin way. Via is a word, we get via and viaduct from that. It's a word that means road or way or street. So the Latin way or the Latin road is the name of the chapter. Here we can see a little map. We see Roma, Rome, the Porta Capena, the Capena Gate. And the Capena Gate is where the Via Appia, or Appian Way, comes into the city. You can see in the picture the Via Latina, or Latin Way, comes from Tusculum, a town near Rome, all the way to join up with the Via Appia and enter Rome through the Porta Capena. Also in the map we see south of Tusculum a villa. This would be the Villa Julii, the villa of Julius, the father in our story. Also near Rome, you see the Tiberis. Tiberis is the Tiber River. If you followed that south and west, you would get to the coast of the Tyrrhenian Sea or Tuscan Sea. And that's where, at the mouth of the river, is the port town for Rome, which is called Ostia. In the margin, we see a porta, or gate, and we see murus, wall. Murus is where we get mural from, the word for a wall painting, and then porta is where we get portal from. All right, let's look at the story. Via Latina. In Italia, multae et magnae viae sunt. There are many and big roads. Via Appia, Via Latina, Via Flaminia, Via Aurelia, Via Aemilia. The Appian way, the Latin way, the Flaminian way, Aurelian way, the Aemilian way. Via Appia est inter Romam et Brundisium. The Via Appia is between Rome and Brundisium. I might mention here inter, this new preposition that means between or among. It's where we get a lot of words like interstate and internet from. Via Latina inter Romam et Capuam. The Latin way is between Rome and Capua. Capua is kind of to the south, maybe a little bit east too. Via Flaminia inter Romam et Ariminum. The Flaminian way is between Rome and Rimini. Ariminum is the modern town of Rimini. Via Aurelia inter Romam et Genuam. The Aurelian way between Rome and Genoa. Via Aemilia inter Ariminum et Placentia. The Aemilian way is between Rimini and Piacenza. Placentia in Roman times is the modern Piacenza. Brundisium, Capua, Ariminum, Genua, Placentia, Ostia, Magna Opera sunt. They're all big towns, Magna Opera. Brundisium's a big town, Capua, Rimini, Genoa, Placentia, modern Piacenza again, and Ostia are all big towns. Ubi est Ostia? Where is Ostia? Ostia est prope Romam. It is near Rome. So prope is another new preposition. Prope means near. Procul ab or procul a means away from. So those are opposites, which we see in the margin with a little opposite arrow. So prope near, procul ab, far away from. So Ostia is near Rome because it's the port town of Rome. If you follow the Tiber River south and west from Rome, you get to the coast, and there is Ostia, the harbor town. Tusculum quoque prope Romam est. Tusculum is also near Rome. We see that in the picture. It's near Rome on the Latin way. All right. Brundisium non est prope Romam, sed procul ab Roma. Brundisium is not near Rome, but far away from Rome. It's down at the boot hill for Italy. So if you look at Italy like a boot, the hill of the boot of Italy is where Brundisium is, far to the south and east. Via Appia longa est. The Appian way is long. Appian way is one of the longest Roman roads. It goes from Rome in the center of Italy all the way down to, the south at Brundisium. Via Latina non tam longa est quam via Appia. The Latin way is not so long as the Appian way. So notice the non tam and then the quam that we pick up later. This is a way of doing a comparison. When you use tom and quam together, the tom is literally so or so much, and then the quam compares that, and so you say as or as much. So not as long as, not so long as, right? That's how we do this comparison. So one thing we say about that, we call them correlatives. Tom and quam work together. They correlate and work together. Quam longa est via Flaminia? How long is the Flaminian way? Notice here quam means how. In the previous sentence, quam meant as, right? Non tam longa est quam, not so long as, and then quam longa est, how long is. So quam can mean a lot of different things. You got to watch out for that word. So how long is the Flaminian way? Neque ea tam longa est quam via Appia, nor is it. Notice the word for it here, ea, is feminine, because roads in Latin are feminine. Via is a feminine word. Nor is it, meaning the Flaminian way, so long as the Appian way. So just like the Latin way, the Flaminian way is also not as long as the Appian way. Tiberis fluvius non tam longus est quam fluvius Padus. The Tiber River is not so long as the Po River. The Po River, by the way, is probably the biggest river in Italy. It's in northern Italy. So it's pretty far away from the Tiber. And again, biggest, most important river. Circum opida muri sunt. Around towns there are walls. A lot of Roman towns, ancient towns in general, had walls for protection. Circum Romam est murus antiquus. Around Rome is an ancient wall. So there's an old wall that, according to legend, was built by the king Servius. So back in the time of the kingdom, so we're talking like, probably close to 700 BC, something like that. In muro Romano, in the Roman wall, duodecim portae sunt, there are 12 gates. Porta prima Romana est porta Capena. The first Roman gate is the Porta Capena. So it was, they were numbered, the 12 gates rather. They were numbered, and they decided to start numbering with what they considered to be the most important gate, and that would be the Via Appia's gate, because the Via Appia, or Appian Way, was the oldest and in many ways most sort of distinguished of the Roman roads. So they started numbering the gates from that one. Circum opidum, around the town, Tusculum, murus non tam longus est quam circum Romam. The wall is not so long as around Rome. So we see the new preposition circum illustrated in the margin. Circum, related to circle in English, it means around. Duodecim, I believe, is a new number here too, and you can see it's made from decem, which is 10, and duo, which is 2. We've had both of those words before. Villa Julii est prope Tusculum. The villa of Julius is near Tusculum. Ab opido Tusculo ad villam Julii non longa et via est. From the town Tusculum to the villa of Julius, the road is not long. Ecce Julius et quator servi in via. Look, Julius and 4 slaves on the road. And we can see them in the picture. Julius is in his sedan chair. The Latin word is lectica. It's also called a litter, or palanquin, I believe is another word for that. 2 slaves, Davus and Ursus, are carrying him in that. Leander and Cyrus are each carrying a sack. The Latin word for sack is sacus. Okay. Julius ab opido ad villam suam it. Now, it is a new verb that means goes. Julius goes from the town, ab opido, to his villa, ad villam suam. Dominus et servi ab opido ad villam eunt. The master and the slaves go from the town to the villa. Dominus in lectica est. The master is in his litter, or sedan chair. That's what lectica is. Duo servi lecticam cum domino portant. 2 slaves carry the litter with their master. Servi qui lecticam portant. The slaves who carry the litter sunt Ursus et Davus. are Ursus and Davus. Julius non in via ambulat, servi eum portant. Julius does not walk on the road, the slaves carry him. Cyrus et Leander ambulant. Cyrus and Leander walk. Cyrus sacumportat et Leander quoque sacumportat. Cyrus carries a sack, and Leander also carries a sack. Cyrus et Leander duo sacos in humeris portant. Cyrus and Leander carry 2 sacks on their shoulders. So humerus is a new word for shoulder. This is usually used for human shoulders. A lot of times animal shoulders you use the word armus, which is another word for shoulder, and it's related to our word for arm. So armus and humerus both mean shoulder, but usually humerus is used for people. Saci quos Cyrus et Leander portant magni sunt. The sacks or bags which Cyrus and Leander carry are big. So quos is an accusative plural of the word for which. Okay, and it refers to the sacks here. The sacks which Cyrus and Leander carry are big. Sed saccus quem Cyrus portat, but the sack which Cyrus is carrying, non tam magnus est quam saccus Leandri, is not so big as the sack of Leander. So there's those tam quam words again, the comparison words. Quator servi dominum et duo saccos ab opido ad vilam vehunt. 4 slaves carry or transport, that's what vehunt means, their master, dominum, and the 2 sacks from the town to the villa. All right, so let's stop there, sort of the first part of this first section, and we'll pick up on a new lesson to finish up this section later. Valete.